Hello, hello, hello. Are we there? Are we all there? Are we working? Hello and welcome to Create Now. We're going to go over finger picking again, but more about the actual method of doing it. So, it's a kind of a claw motion. So, when you're finger picking, a lot of people like pull their hand all the way up when they're picking up. And okay, so let's go over some basic stuff. Okay, so the thumb is going to be playing the bass line. Alright. So let's pick an easy chord. We'll go for E. Oh dear. We'll go for E. So the thumb is going to be playing the lowest note. And just for ease, we're going to have our index on the playing the G string, our middle finger playing the B, and our ring finger playing the little E. Okay? So 4 fingers on the guitar, big thumb is gonna always be going down. All right, thumb's always going down. That's going to be always on beat 1, just to keep things very simple. Okay, so the thumb is going to be playing the bass line. We're gonna alternate between, let's say, E and. Do you know what? We're gonna do D and A. Okay, so in D there's 4 strings, okay? So that's easy enough. Once again, index finger on the G, middle finger on the B, and ring finger on the D. So D, the thumb is going to play the lowest note there. And then if we're doing A, it would be playing the A string. Okay, so let's have a go of just playing through the D chord. Here we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's thumb, index, middle, ring. I'm playing a D chord. There's only 4 notes. Well, there's 3 notes. There's an octave on the note D. But so this is very close to what would be played on a piano, where it's called an arpeggio. There's Alberti bass, and there's anyway. Sure, listen. So here's 3 notes in D. We got D, the 3rd, which is F sharp, and the 5, which is A, I hope. Alright, so an arpeggio is just when you cycle through as 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5. It's called an arpeggio. And you can put in the octave if you want to. 1, 2, 3, what was it? 1, 3, 5 octave or 8. 1, 3, 5, 8, 5, 3, 1, 5, 3, 8. D, F sharp, A, back to D, 1 octave up. Somewhere, it's an octave. And dun, dun, dun. The old Star Wars interval should be 5th. Dun, dun. Grand. Alright. So try to internalize some of those intervals. So this D is simply that. Okay? Easy peasy. It's a different inversion, so we got the D on the lowest, but we won't worry about that. It's not so much an inversion, but it has the 3rd on top. Anyway, stay focused, people. So often in piano and stuff, you have the octave you have an octave of the root note, and you got a chord 1, 3, 5 up high. So, alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're playing a D chord, just all 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is perfect right around going around the campfire stuff. Now we're going to switch to A. So just keep things simple. Our thumb's going to go up 1 string to hit that open A string. Index finger on the G, middle finger on the B, ring finger on the little E. So it's a very subtle motion, and all you're doing is squeezing the fingers up towards the rest of your hand. It's a very little movement. You're only moving like if half an inch or something. The last little knuckle where your kind of nail is, that you're just pulling that up, and you're only squeezing it into your own hand. Your hand does not move. Your fingers move. Nothing else moves. All right. Now you're not. You have to find the happy medium between not being stiff and your arm doesn't move. Your hand pretty much just your fingers are doing the work. All right. Can you see my hand here? It's staying the fingers are jumping around like mad things, but the arm doesn't move, because it's not a lot of people. They move their whole arm just to move one string and end up with broken strings and repetitive strain and all this mad shit. It's not that hard. You don't need to damage your body doing these things. Having said, like, I've ruined myself by practicing all day every day when I was younger, and repetitive strain and all that good stuff. But that was from poor technique, so I'm showing you proper technique. Alright, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lovely. Going on to the A. So the bottom 3 fingers stay in the same place. G index on the G string, middle finger on the B, and little E for the ring finger. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright. That sounds good, doesn't it? Bit of E, bit of D, A. Sounds impressive, doesn't it? As opposed to... It's good for showing off anyway, finger picking. And then once you have your hand down, so what I was talking about yesterday was practicing muting the guitar with the back of your hand. You can do that if you want. So you only need one hand on the guitar and you're just practicing fingering around the instrument there. One hand while watching the old TV. Right. Alright, so we can cycle through some chords like G. 1, G. I change to D now. D. And this is just a downward arpeggio. Or are these called arpeggios? Arpeggiator. We're doing arpeggiation. All the same one, but we can do even the reverse of that. So what would that be? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Oh, D. Different feel, and then random. Alright, so you have your basic chords. You got D and you have A. Lovely. So what we can do is, this is already getting too advanced, isn't it? So you experiment picking up 2, 3, 4 and down 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're not doing it in a 4/4 measure, you probably are and you don't know it. But anyway, you may be doing it in if you're doing triplets or 6 or whatever fuck. It's 1 and 1 and 1, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Just cycle up and down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and you can count any way you want really. If you're doing it in 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or triplets 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, whatever way you want to do it. So triplets, hopefully you know triplets, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we talked about that before. Anyway, doesn't matter. D, A, and we did a little bit of G today. Finger picking. So it really is all in your fingers do the work, and with the index finger, in case this wasn't clear, with the index finger you're only using the very tip of your finger and pulling it in towards your hand. So you're pulling it in towards the palm of your hand. So you need to practice just only doing one finger at a time as well. Like just only index, just only middle, just only ring. Ideally you won't have any fingers resting on the guitar, because it's just better not to. Some people loosely rest their fingers on the strings while waiting to play, but it can restrict all the movement and so on. Some people get in the habit of only using index finger and thumb. Yeah, you can do that if you want, I guess. I'd recommend just using all the fingers, including the dreaded little finger, because then you got so many fingers to play with. Like, alright, moving bass lines. Alright, so in the D, we talked about hitting the lowest note of the chord with the thumb. Now we can also move that bass line around. So that would be the job of the bass guitar. So you can add another dimension by having to your playing. You have the chordal harmonic background there. You can add a different dimension by moving the bass line around. Moving bass lines. Keep it simple. I know I keep going off. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Just on those D chords to A. 4, 1, 2. Moving bass lines. Moving lead lines. Talked about. Anyway, so there's 3 different parts playing there. The chordal bit, the lead line, and the bass line moving around. It can be good if you're just playing by yourself. It's a whole other different kind of way of playing, isn't it, with finger picking? Very relaxing. It's not as full on as to listen to those. Sometimes chords just get old these very quickly. It just kind of all sounds like white noise or something. So it's almost like too much. You can get more into kind of counterpoint and stuff when you have just 2 lines. making up tunes on the spot. So there you are. It can be a lot less as I was talking about as well, with amplification we can do all this finger picking. We couldn't do that back before amplification and so on. So it's really good on electric guitars, and it's really good for dividing stuff amongst the instruments, because then you can go to the bass player and be like, alright, you play this. Try playing that. And then you have the whole band ready to go. Lead guitarist, right, have a go at this. Full band ready to go. Finger picking. So when I'm talking about finger picking, I'm talking about just using the fingertips, not the nails. Because the nails will get shredded on metal guitar strings, absolutely wrecked. So that's what I'm talking about. It's a duller guitar sound. Fingernails, you can do the fingernails you want for the classical guitar, which has nylon strings, which are a form of plastic polymer, which is the same thing. And not usually use nylon. So what I'd really recommend is play whatever song you already know. Let's say you already know a song. E minor. That's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's just cycling through that. E minor. Same as always. Thumb playing the bass note. Index on the G, that's E minor. E minor is just 2 notes on the guitar. It's middle finger on the A string, 2nd fret, ring finger on the D string, 2nd fret. Go play any song you already know and just have a go finger picking it. There's no need to learn a new song or anything. Just fucking play along, try finger picking. And after a while you'd be like, oh man, wouldn't it be wild if I... You can start moving your thumb to different positions on the guitar, like having it only playing the D string and stuff, and then you get all these mad inversions. Because you're not playing the normal root notes. Instead you got... Jeez, that doesn't even sound good. They get a whole different new sound out of these chords. Finger picking, yeah. It's all about that index, middle, and ring. Practice this motion. Practice going up, practice going down, arpeggiation, practice a little bit of random. And when you're feeling real cheeky, you do double stops, just 2 notes at the same time. So 2 notes at the same time, 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 2 notes at the same time. So just get creative as you can, I guess. Spend a few hours in front of the TV, just picking away at your guitar. You can just rest your hand on it, so you only need one hand. Do whatever else you're doing. A lot of it is just that practicing that motion, and you don't look back at the right hand, your picking hand. Don't do it. There's no need to be looking at it. Like have a little gawk, I guess, every now and again, but don't be staring. It's very... It's just bad practice, because then your neck will be going forward and backwards. Now, what am I doing here? beware of the tension building up in your upper arm. That's the stuff that's going to wreck you. Tension build-ups. Alright, so that's finger picking. Hope you enjoyed that. You can do the same with a plectrum. And here's hybrid. So that's the plec just doing the bass notes. Oh shit. Anyway, hope you enjoyed all the things. Have a great day. Hit that subscribe button. This is available on audio as well if you're into just the audio, and everywhere we listen to podcasts. And the full video version is available on YouTube there. Alright, have an awesome day. Check out all the links below. We're on Twitter and all that great stuff.